much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get into the matter which concern one political party that is a newcomer on the ballot. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, today enlisted the Social Democratic Party SDP candidate Francis Ajala and his running mate Faseke Oladipo to the ballot for the Osun governorship election, which is just going to happen on Saturday, a few days away. And this is raising the number of candidates and the political parties on the ballot to 15 for an election that is slated for Saturday. INEC says the decision was taken in compliance with the judgment of the Federal High Court delivered on the 22nd of July between the SDP Ajala on one hand and INEC. INEC spokesperson Wilfred Ifoga is live for us. He's been on the ground in Osogbo, where the ahead of the election is live for us tonight to give us insight into what could be termed as somewhat a wicked action at the last minute. Why would you do that to SDP? How do you want them to campaign? It's only today, tomorrow. Why?
Well,
that's unfair, Wilfred.
No, that has nothing to do with INEC. That has nothing to do with INEC. So whatever happens, the court gave their ruling that they should be added. I think they had their own internal party issues. I think that was what actually led to them not being part of it initially. But since the court has said that we should add them, the INEC has done the needful by putting them among those participating in the election.
You know, even from the days of Rotimi Amechi and the very popular Supreme Court position on participation of a candidate and the position of the political parties as far as the election is concerned, the court have established that it's the political party that owns the platform and is represented by its logo on the ballot. There are those who will think that whether or not whatever Ajala is up to against his party or with some other persons against INEC, at the end of the day, the party's logo, which is going to be represented on the ballot, should have been there rather than just adding them at the last minute. I mean, and we've seen INEC do this in the past, where INEC had said, pending some of the, you needed to print ballot papers and all of that, we will put the logo there, but once you finish your matter, we can then resolve on who the candidate is.
All right, you know, for the commission, we are trying to be, most times, trying to ensure the validity of every voter in terms of vote cast, because at times you find out that parties not participating in an election most times do get votes, which makes it invalid and is not counted. So in order to ensure that we reduce this number of invalid votes on election day, the commission decided to go customize ballot papers and result sheets just for those participating in the election, so that there's no room for error, trying to help voters during election, during the voting process. That's what we tried doing. That's why you find us trying to, streamline to the number of those participating in the election. Also, it will also reduce errors, as well as make those handling some of all these materials to be more, focused on those that are participating in it. But however, we had similar issue in Ekiti, where we have to now go and expand the ballot paper by accommodating the other ones, just in case whatever happens. We know we are not going back to print the ballot papers again. But however, this one happened, and the judgment came 22nd. But then even when the judgment is given like that, the commission needs to wait for a certified true copy. Then the commission will go through it, and before the process of deliberating and procurement, because 2 million, over 2.4 million ballot sheets is not just, it's not what you can get over the counter, or you just go to a business center to, print. You have to go through the right process. It has to be designed in order to ensure that it conforms with our template before it is given out. So it's after then the commission started the process of getting it done. And hopefully tomorrow, the sensitive materials, which is the ballot paper and the result sheets, will be distributed to the local government area.
So all that is cleared, but is INEC worried about the rhetoric that we're seeing ahead of this election? Is intensely contested, and the narrative that is on the street, does it concern the umpire?
Well, this is not the first time the commission is dragged into issues like this. So it comes like that, and then we just try. All we try to do is to be open in whatever process we are taking, to manage the process. And when it be, we try to let the people know what we are doing and where they come in terms of our process. So that's what we are doing, and we try to involve them at every point in time.
There are those who will say, and I imagine INEC being a referee, and if this was a boxing match, you will be dodging so that you will not have a blood stain on you when the contestants are in the ring and battling. But there are those who will say, doesn't the umpire have the power to caution, to down the tension, because it will affect your job in the end, because your officials are on the field. The stories of killings, violence that we are seeing ahead of the election, doesn't it worry you? Is INEC not speaking to the politician? Now you think that we can go into this election with this kind of narrative? It's about the ballot, not about the blood of the people.
All right, Shall you find out that the commission did not just start today engaging stakeholders, especially the political parties and their followers and their supporters, as the case may be, by letting them know that, yes, election is not war. Election has to do with them, voting their choice of candidate. And when they go out to campaign, they should avoid this kind of rhetoric that can easily, get the politics tense. Because for us as the management body, we are not pleased with what is happening, because we want an environment or a situation where we send out our ad hoc personnel, as well as even for us, the permanent staff, when we go out to monitor this exercise. Even for the voters themselves too, we want a situation whereby everyone comes in there without fear or being intimidated, so that they can do the right thing. However, engagements began even long before now. The commission has engaged well-meaning individuals, not just in Osun, but at the national level, to intervene in some of these situations. And that is why all stakeholders have been involved in the process, and also the security agencies. I think with the arrangement they have on ground, we believe everything will be taken care of.
Wilfred Ifoga is the Deputy Director of Voter and Publicity, Voter Education and Publicity at INEC. Thanks so much indeed. Always a pleasure having you speak on some of these issues with us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Akimale. God bless Nigeria.